And we are live. Welcome, everyone. This is the buzz. It's been a long day.
Too many buzzes.
Yeah, really. My name is Kim Mastrofino, and Diane is my co-host today. And welcome, Diane. How are you?
Good.
She's been running around like crazy too, I'm sure.
Little bit, but made it on okay and anxious. So good to see Lois and Dave. It's been a long time.
It really has. Just so the audience knows, Diane actually went out to feed the horses, and then she did a couple laps on her treadmill. She's here, and she looks great. Showing.
Not really.
She popped something in the oven too before she got on too. So. Anyway, I don't know why I'm so silly. It must be that I'm running around too. But anyway, so I just want to introduce Dave Arnott. Arnott. Is it Arnott or Arnett?
Arnott.
Mm-hmm.
So welcome, Dave. It's a pleasure to see you after all these years.
Nice to be here.
And so happy that you decided to come on because we're going to have some fun tonight.
Yep.
And Lois Alice is our other guest, and Lois has just come out of a hurricane, and she looks great. She's not windblown. She's relaxed. All is great, And so welcome, Lois.
Thank you.
So I'm glad that you got on and you're here and you're safe, and I'm so happy that you're here. So anyway, well, as you know, we're going to ask these guys some questions. Nothing major. But it will be great to hear everything that they've been doing for the last 50 years. And 50 years, I don't say that too often to many people, but 50 years is a long time. So anyway, I'm going to turn it over to Diane because she's going to start first.
Guys, you've probably watched some of the other interviews that we're doing. Simple questions. And it's hard for me each time I say it each week of asking everybody, what have you been doing for the past 50 years? It's 50 years. It's like crazy.
To cover.
It's surreal. It really is surreal. So, Lois, do you want to go first and tell us what you've been up to besides hurricanes?
Oh, it's been a sordid 50 years, I have to say.
Kind of like a whirlwind.
Yeah, kind of. Well, after high school, I went to college. I went to Roger Williams, which is now university.
Yeah.
And got my bachelor's in English and education. And I taught for one semester at Charahoe.
Oh, okay.
That was enough for me.
Oh, what grade, Lois?
7th grade, remedial read.
Ooh.
Not quite what I wanted teaching to be.
Tough age.
Yeah, they were tough.
Yeah.
They were really tough.
Yeah.
Especially after I had done my student teaching in 1st grade.
Oh, that was fun.
Oh, yeah, those guys were great. So I went back to school again.
Wow.
I went to technical school this time.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and it's funny because when I was in high school, I took type. And Mrs. Robinson said, "You're in the wrong class, dear.
Ooh.
You're not business. You're college prep." And I said, "Not in the wrong class. I'm in type, right?" "Yes, well, this is where I'm supposed to be." And then I took mechanical drawing in high school.
Oh, cool.
And Mr. Esposito said to me, "Oh, dear, you must be in the wrong class. Are you looking for home ec?" "No, I'm looking for mechanical drawing." So it seemed to be I was always like someplace I wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah, but you knew you were supposed to be there.
Yeah, or I thought I was supposed to be there. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
So actually, in between jobs, typing helped me greatly because I did medical transcription for a couple of years.
Oh, cool. I did that. Yeah. I didn't know how
And
to type, Lois, though. I never took type, so I just went like this.
don't
Cheating.
look at the keys. And when I was in college, I used to type papers for people.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was good.
Nice.
So I I taught for a little while in South Providence.
Oh, tough
Interesting.
spot. Tough place to teach, huh?
Interesting.
Hmm.
I taught EED and citizenship.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
So that was interesting. Although they all got their GEDs, so something went right.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't know what, but for the kids that never came to class,
Yeah,
they made it.
good, good.
So then I went on to my 18-year career,
Oh,
and I was an electrical designer.
wow. Cool.
Everything from your computer keyboard to a cell phone,
Mm-hmm.
dishwasher, stove panels, nothing interesting. But
Wow.
Hmm.
so I did that for various companies because what you do then is you don't spend a long time in one place, so you just keep gaining more experience.
Was that up north here, Lois?
Everything was up there,
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yep, yep. I
and
wouldn't
I
know
worked.
I wouldn't know the first thing how to do something like that.
Oh, not hard. If I can do it, anybody can do it.
That's a spirit.
Honestly, God, my teacher in school said, "Oh, well, you must love to do maze puzzles because you're good at this." I said, "No, I hate them. They're too frustrating for me."
Mm.
But I did find the work very interesting, and I worked for a government contractor, so I did some of the guidance systems on the missiles for the subs,
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
Cool.
how to
Wow.
track what we're looking for. So, and my husband was a mechanical designer, so he did the loading trays on the subs.
Oh, wow.
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 Um, so with manufacturing virtually disappearing in the state of Rhode Island, there was nowhere to go.
Hmm.
So I had to reinvent myself and kind of went back into the teaching realm, and I headed training for electrical and Quonset.
Wow.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yep.
You've done
Wow.
a lot. A lot.
My father used to say he'd never know where I was going, what I was doing. I said, "Well, at least I can't say I should have.
That's right.
Right.
That's
I gave
right.
everything. What the hell?" And that was it. And then I retired early, and sold my home and moved to go and take care of my mom.
Okay. Was that down
And
in Florida, Lois?
no, that was in Wesley.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We still lived in the same house on East Avenue.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I took care of her until she passed. And then my sister said, "What are you doing up here all by yourself?" Blah blah blah. Come to Florida. I'm here. Well, as I've said to her now for 4 years, because you love Florida doesn't mean everybody loves Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been trying for the past 2 years to get out of here, and I just can't get rid of my house yet.
Hmm.
Where would you go if you left Florida?
I come back north.
You come back north.
hmm
Well, the winters aren't as bad, Lois, as when we were kids.
I know. And you know what? Let me tell you. Everybody that says, oh, would you want to go back north for? It's terrible. Blah, blah. Where are they? They're all up north on
I
vacation.
know. They're wishing
Because,
they could be down there with you.
no, because as I said to someone, Satan called. He wants his river back.
Oh,
But I'm kidding. You know, people say, "Oh, I love Florida." Yeah, that's because you're here for 2 or 3 weeks on vacation. Isn't this nice?
right, right.
Mm.
You know, we had so much rain. It's still 92 degrees outside.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
We're
Yeah,
80% humidity.
yeah. I like it for a little while, and then I'm back home. My
Mhm.
husband wants to go down there more, and I was like, "Well, I'll come visit you." Oh God,
No,
Lois,
the rest was give up my house up there.
you have the same sense of humor you had in high school. That's
I
awesome.
got people or I'd be crazy
Yep.
or crazier than I am.
Well, I'm glad you've done a lot. That's a lot of accomplishments in 50
Well,
years.
you know, when I look back on it, it seems like not that much. Like I've listened to people on the buzz before, and you know, this one's doing volunteer work, and somebody's, you know, a humanitarian, and I'm like, I haven't done anything.
You know what? We're all different. We all have whatever we have, and that's what makes the world go round.
And it's never too late.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You
Well,
can always reinvent yourself at any age,
Yeah.
right?
that's
So,
true.
yeah,
I've done it more than once.
Yeah.
exactly. So should we turn this over to you now, Dave?
Yeah, come on, Dave.
Yeah, come on, Dave. Yeah. What you been
Turn.
doing for 50
She's taking
years?
you on. She's taking you on.
Well, uh, I wasn't really a very good student, didn't like school, and I really wasn't planning on going to college at all. But to my surprise, and a lot of people's surprise, I won a scholarship. Probably don't
Oh,
remember that, but I got a scholarship and athletic one from the high school, and I guess somebody wanted me to go to college, so
mm-hmm.
I ended up going to Thames Valley over in Norwich.
Oh, yeah.
My stepdad knew the golf coach over there, and that's what I wanted to do was play golf. I didn't really care about school, so went there. They had a golf team that played in the fall and the spring, and I went to a few
Yeah.
classes, but I didn't like school, so I quit after a year, and I went to Big M and got a job working for the McQuaid's.
Big
They
M.
were-
I
Yeah.
remember
Big M
Big
was a big
M.
part of my life early on. I started working there. Worked there for about maybe 6 months to a year, and I met someone who got me a job over at Coca-Cola in New London. And I started driving a
Okay.
truck, Coca-Cola. It was a fantastic job, making great money. And eventually, by the time I was 22, I got married, had this great job, and I bought a house up in Hope Valley. And life was great, it was going good. But unfortunately, after a few years, marriage went downhill, wife left. I kept the house. I still had my job. And now I was single, which that was all right too, but it was actually a recipe for disaster for me. I hadn't really done much dating or partying at all through high school or even after that.
Yeah.
Got married kind of young. So I kind of got wild and, I had a house, I had money, I was single. I just started partying. Rosalini's was, if somebody wanted to find me, all I had to do at nighttime was go to Rosalini's and they could find me up there.
Oh, my
Rosalini's.
God.
Oh
I
my
eventually
God.
got to partying a little bit too much. And if you remember back in the 70s, the craze was the cocaine craze. And
Oh, yeah.
I became known as Dave the Coke Man, not just because I drove for Coca-Cola. I got a
Oh, my
really
goodness.
bad coke
Hey,
habit. I got a really bad coke habit. ended up losing my house,
Oh,
ended up
dear.
losing my job,
Oh,
ended
yeah.
up losing my mind almost. And yeah, I
So
was in
sorry.
bad shape. I ended up just taking off, leaving Westerly. I didn't even tell anybody, didn't tell my family or anything. I was in such bad shape. I drove down to Florida. My car broke down in Florida. I was stuck there. I bought a bus ticket. My brother was living in California with his girlfriend. He lived somewhere. I didn't know where. He was in Southern California somewhere. So I just bought a bus ticket and went to California.
Wow.
Found him. I knew he would put me up. My brother was great. He would do anything for me. He was living with his girlfriend. So he put me up for a couple of months, and I got a few odd jobs to help him out and got my head straightened out. And eventually, after a few months, came back to Westerly. Went back down Big M. Got a job at Big M
Wow.
again. So I started working in was managing the dairy and frozen food section down Big M. I started doing that. And I reconnected with some old friends from school, soccer friends that were on the soccer team, not in our class though.
Okay.
Dave Piver, who was a year behind us.
Oh, yeah.
Al
Oh, yeah.
Brusso.
Yeah.
Al Brusso, in fact, he's been the grocery manager down at Big M his whole life. I don't even know if he might even still be there. But so we connected, and when I came back, I moved in with my grandmother. She lived up on Ashaway Road, so I moved in with her. Was living with her. So things were good again. I started playing a lot of golf, and me and Al and Dave, and working.
Good.
And then in the wintertime, Al was a skier, and him and some friends from the store were going to go skiing at Killington, Vermont. I'd never been
Yep.
skiing before. So I figured, what the heck, I'll go skiing. Bad decision.
Oh, no.
Broke my leg.
Oh.
And yeah,
Ouch.
came back. And like I said, luckily, since I was living with my grandmother, she was able to take care of me. I had a broken leg. Of course, I lost my job at Big M because I couldn't work. But luckily, at the time, my stepbrother had gotten hired over at Elm Ridge Golf Course as a head pro. And he needed help in his pro shop. So even though my leg was broken, he gave me a job. So I was working.
Ah.
So I did work that summer, worked through the golf season. Then when that season got over, I found a few odds. I went to work for Tony Ribeiro's dad at Wesley Bakery for a while, delivering bread, just finding odds and end jobs. And eventually, I went back to Big M for the third time. Third time's a charm, they say, and it kind of worked.
Yeah.
Went back there, started working there again, and there was a new girl working in the meat room this time when I went back.
Oh, the meat room.
That ended up being my future wife, my second wife. She
Oh, that's
we ended up
nice.
dating after a year or so, and she got pregnant. That was in like the fall or winter of '84, and in February of '85 we got married. So life was heading back in the right direction.
Oh, good.
She was 4 or 5 months pregnant when we got married. Then, unfortunately, 10 days after our marriage, we got a call about 1 o'clock in the morning. My mom had been notified that my brother got killed in a car accident. It was awful for us. It was right after my wife. My wife was all excited. She had a brother-in-law. She had 2 sisters and didn't have any brothers. So that was devastating to us. I
So
was talking
sad.
to you earlier. David Smith, I'm sure remember that night. He was one of the police officers that notified my mom.
Yeah.
That was hard. That was
Oh, I can't even imagine.
That's got to be hard for a police officer to do that, to anybody, have to go and notify somebody. But me and David grew up together and went to High Street School, elementary together. So he knew my brother, he knew my mom, pretty sure he knew my stepdad. So that had to be even harder for him to go to a house like that and give that kind of news. But that was a rough time. And then a week after that happened, I got fired from my job.
Oh, wow.
So now I was out of job.
Oh.
2 weeks, I lost my job and my brother after getting married. So things weren't going good for me again.
Oh, Dave.
But I quickly found another job. Went to work for Bob Hoffman down at Sandy's Fruit and Vegetables.
Oh, yeah.
Bob, yeah.
He needed, I don't know if back then he got in a real bad accident. He used to drive up to the market himself and buy all his produce up in Providence. And he got in a real bad accident up on Route 3 just before he got up on the highway. So he needed somebody to basically take over going to the market for him. And I still had my license from working at Coca-Cola to drive a truck that size. So I went down and interviewed, and he gave me the job. And he taught me, I didn't really know anything about produce and vegetables, but he taught me about it. For 2 years, if you bought fruits and vegetables at Sandy's for those 2 years, I'm the one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You just go to Boston to the market, and Providence to the market. And that was a pretty good job for 2 years till 1987. And then I got my big break and got a job over at Pfizer in Groton.
Oh, awesome.
And that was a great job. A friend of mine helped me get an interview there and got in there. And after 3.5 years working there, some job offers opened up out here in Terre Haute, Indiana. And I wasn't sure if the only thing I really knew about Terre Haute, Indiana was that's where Larry Bird played basketball at Indiana State in 1979. You know, basically the only I put him on the map, so I figured it had to be a nice place. Of course, the college town is what it is. There's about 4 colleges here.
Yeah.
But I remember that night I was working third shift, and I printed out the poster that they had that explaining these jobs, and I read it all night. And I got home that morning. We were living with in my wife's grandfather's house down on Pierce Street, 3rd floor apartment. I walked in and I just threw it down on the table and said, "What do you think?" And she looks at it and read it, and she said, "Go for it."
Wow.
What the heck? So I put in for it, and I put in for it with the understanding if I get the job, it was meant to be that we're supposed to move out here. And I remember going to the first meeting for it, and there were like 100 people at it. And they were only looking for 8 people to hire. There were 100 people, and I just started at Pfizer. I had been there a couple of years. I thought my chances were zilch, 0 and none. But I went through. They had 2 or 3 people come out and interview us all, and I was one of the 8 that got picked to come out here. So we packed up, moved out here. They actually moved us out here. They actually sent us out here before on a house hunting trip, and that's where we bought our house. This isn't my house. This is a pole barn I built earlier this year that I'm in. But we
So
bought a house.
You're still there in
We're still
Indiana.
living in the same house that we bought 33 years
Wow.
ago. Almost 33 years ago. Yep. This December will be 33 years we've been in it. Nice subdivision. We live on the end of a cul-de-sac.
Oh, that's nice.
No traffic. Very nice area. Very quiet. So a very nice area. And we've lived here now for, like I say, 33 years.
Wow.
One thing I forgot to mention earlier, when my son was born, we named him after my brother. He was born 4 months after my brother died. So to carry on kind of my brother's name, my son was named Roy Michael Arnott II.
Oh, that's
Anybody that
awesome.
knew my brother. And he lives in Champaign, Illinois, which is about just under 2 hours from us. So we see him quite a bit. We just saw him back last week. We either go up
Good.
there
That's
or-
not too far.
No, it's about an hour, 45-minute drive. Like you're talking, to drive 2 hours out here is no big deal. You know, it's not that bad to drive that far and come back. But
That's good.
he never got married, so we don't have any grandkids. But you know, it is what it is. He did one thing about my son. He likes to do different things just fine. He's a musician. I know a lot of people are talking about music and stuff, and he's a musician also. I don't know where he got that. Neither me or my wife had any kind of musical talent at all. But when he was born, in fact, that's when my grandmother was still alive, she had a piano. And when he was only 5 years old, he used to sit at her piano and just play. He used to play theme songs to the shows that he used to watch.
Oh,
on
that's
TV.
interesting.
Just by ear. He just
Yeah.
picked up music somehow. And, I mean, he plays the piano, he plays the drums, he plays bass guitar, he plays rhythm guitar. You know, he's played in all kinds of bands and stuff. But I actually bought a guitar last year, and he's given me a few lessons here and there. But something that I want to try and take up.
Fun. That's
No, that's
awesome.
awesome.
Life and stuff. But the other thing I was going to tell you about, if you search his name on YouTube, some of his music is on there that he made years ago. But he actually trained to fight an MMA fight back years ago.
Oh,
Wow.
He trained for like about 18 months to get in shape to fight in one fight. And it's on YouTube if you look at it. Of course, he won. It's a short fight. He beats the guy in about 2 minutes. But
Oh my God.
Was my son fight MMA fight.
So what was his name? Dave
Roy Michael Arnott.
Michael Arnott.
Yeah.
We'll check it out.
Definitely check that out.
But,
That's
And you
fascinating.
said
like I said, we've been here 33 years. I worked shift work at actually when I moved out here it was Pfizer. Pfizer ended up selling the division that I worked in to another company called Coulter at first, another company called Danisco. These are companies from overseas. The company Danisco is one of the biggest sweeteners companies from like Finland or someplace. But we kept getting bought out by different companies. Oh, we just lost Lois. And when I actually retired, I worked for DuPont. DuPont eventually bought the division that I worked for. It used to be went from Pfizer to DuPont and through a bunch of people. It was same, I worked the same job, same place and everything, but it just kept changing hands.
And you said when we were talking before we went live that you took early retirement, right? You
Well, I
retired.
retired at 62.
That's
I
awesome.
mean, I didn't
That
really
is
take it
awesome.
early. That was when I could collect. Like I said, I was doing shift work. I put in for some day shift positions, some management positions, but I didn't get them. Some people thought I should have, but I don't think they wanted me there doing. Our management was pretty. I don't know. I had run-ins with them a lot, so I don't think they wanted me working with them. It's more the reason, So I was like, fine with it. I don't care if I don't get it. I'll just retire at 62. That's all.
Yeah.
And just
There you
enjoy
go.
myself because I wasn't going to keep working shift work. It was starting to get to me.
And now you're playing guitar.
Well, no, I'm not playing guitar. No,
Jeez.
I wintertime. Last winter, I bought a guitar and just fiddled around with it a little bit.
Good.
I haven't touched it in months. I play golf. I'm a golfer. All I do
You're
now is
still
play
playing golf.
I play golf. That's and I gamble. I'm a gambler. I bet the horses mostly. I love horse racing. My wife and I go to the track all the time. We go to Keeneland every year, mostly down in Lexington, Kentucky.
Oh,
That's the horse
nice.
capital of the world. Yeah, really
Oh,
nice
yeah.
town. She wanted to move down there back years ago. I said no, I don't want to move there. But yeah, I just basically play golf and bet the
Good
horses.
for
We've got a
you.
casino they're putting in 4 miles down the road from me.
Nice.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's going to open up in April. Right off the
Yeah.
highway. If you're driving across 70 and, through the country, across the country, it's right off of I-70, this casino. It's beautiful. You can see it from the highway. It's going to be real nice, but it's going to be too close for me. I mean, I could walk there in about an hour. I could take a walk for a half hour and be there.
Wow.
Wow,
Well,
that's
things
great.
worked out really well for you after all
Yeah,
that.
everything. Like I said, sometimes things happen for a reason. I don't know why, but take different paths. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
what happened to me years ago when I had my addiction was a bad thing, but it turned into a good thing, I guess. Took me to a
Well, I'm
different
so
path. Met my
happy
wife,
for
and,
you. Yeah.
things worked
That's
out pretty good.
That's
Thank you.
awesome, Dave.
That's awesome. Wonderful information. And
Yeah.
you've had some hard knocks, but look at you. You're doing so much better and you're in a good
Yep.
place. That's really, really awesome. That's
Yeah.
all we want for everyone. Thank you for all that information.
Yeah.
Lois, welcome back.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you for
lost you a
Took a
minute.
break. She went backstage
Yeah,
again.
if I was going, I
What do
knew
you,
all
what do you
of
got going on
that.
backstage anyway? Something good?
I said, you're not getting rid of me that easily.
So before I ask you guys the next question, I just want to let you know that there are some people watching live. And one person said, hey, Dave, and hey, Lois. One person says, hi, Dave and Lois. And then Wendy Cahoon says, hello to Lois and Dave, and hi to Kim and Di. So hello, everyone. I'm so glad that you're on. And we're having a great time on here and learning all about Lois and Dave's stories. So anyway, my question to both of you is, can you tell us what your greatest achievements have been and what you enjoy most in this stage of your life? So we'll start with Lois.
I'll be right back.
Okay, let's see. Oh, no. Well, I'm thinking as just a deeply personal achievement
Mm-hmm.
would have been as a caregiver.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
That I was able to do that and help a transition.
Mm-hmm.
And that was probably more gratifying for me than it was for her.
Wow.
Wow.
She told me to calm it down.
Wow.
But in your other jobs, Lois, you've really done a lot of work and helped a lot of people. So
Mhm.
that's wonderful
Yeah.
as well.
And I would say that my accomplishment at EB was getting 30, probably 50 people
Mm-hmm.
through different trades and all of them getting their associate's degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So I was pleased with that.
Well, you should be. That's such an accomplishment.
Mm-hmm. for sure.
Yeah.
It really wasn't me. They went to the classes, they took the tests. You know,
But you encouraged that, and
And
you
we're
were obviously
supportive. Yeah.
right, and you were
Yeah.
a good teacher for that, and you pointed them in the right direction, I'm sure, and so it inspired them to move forward, right?
I tried.
I think.
I
No,
tried.
you've done good work. So, what do you enjoy most in your life now, Lois?
Well, um, we're all in the golden years, as they would call them, and they haven't been kind. I have to say that.
Hmm.
So, um, you know, I remember what my dad's saying about the golden years was, but I won't share that.
Okay.
Yeah, and he used to say because he had to be in Florida during the winter, because his heart was so bad.
Hmm.
So he used to call Florida God's waiting room, and he's right.
Wow.
I live in a 55 and over community. It's depressing. You know, you see rescues going through all the time.
Uh,
Um, so it's not, it's not the most uplifting place. But anyway, um, and while I've been here, I had a stroke 2 years ago.
Oh,
oh.
So I now have my friend, the cane.
that's
I feel
not
old.
fun. Oh,
Hmm.
Old. And then last summer, I had a series of seizures and was in the hospital for June and July.
Oh my
oh,
goodness.
wow.
The sunny, warm weather hasn't been that great, but
Wow.
you know, we persevere.
Wow.
You
You know,
do. And you are. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
well,
So
you know,
challenging.
I I have to, because if I let it
Yep.
get to me, then you just, you'd be depressed all the time.
Hmm.
Good attitude, Lois. But you've always had a cheery attitude.
I tried.
Always.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Diane.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I was very fortunate because the stroke did not leave me with more deficit than it could have.
Thank God. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so, that's a good thing. But
Wow.
then when I say I want to move, then I have to listen to my sister. And what happens if something happens to you again? Who's going to be there? Oh, geez. Woulda, coulda,
Yeah.
shoulda.
Hmm.
It'll be what it'll be. It'll be
Yeah.
what it'll be.
Que
Right.
sera, sera.
Hmm.
Right?
Yeah. If it's meant to happen, it'll happen. Whether,
Yeah.
I'm sitting here or I'm sitting in Alaska. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll happen. And she's never here anyway.
Well, we want you to do what you want to do to make you happy.
Hmm.
So,
She's now on vacation number 3 for the year, and
Hmm.
one more to go. Yeah,
yeah.
she's supposed to be back tomorrow, but the airport was closed yesterday. They closed. So I don't know if they're going to end up here or not.
Right. Right.
Hmm.
Oh well. Just
Wow.
bring me back a present. That's what I say. Bring me
Absolutely.
back a present.
And it's on the broadcast. Tell her to tune into YouTube, and that's where's your
Oh,
request.
oh God. Gee,
Oh,
it's really bad.
yeah. Wow. So, Lois, I think you've done really well. And again, you know, you never know what life throws at you, but you are a trooper. And just like Dave, you've persevered. So we're going to shift to Dave now, and we're going to hear what his greatest accomplishments have been, or what achievements, and what he enjoys most. So take it away, Dave.
Yeah, I kind of already answered them, but I mean,
You did.
I mean,
but it's going to be other stuff,
to
right?
me, my greatest achievement is probably just becoming a dad. I mean, you know, and I know but yeah, just becoming a father was, I mean, that was awesome.
Oh,
Particular
Yeah.
day, and it was a full day of kind of craziness. I remember my wife; she went in the morning. They had to induce the labor on her and everything, and then she ended up having a cesarean section after being in kind of labor all day long. And I was going to the hospital, and at the time, that particular day, one of my cousins was getting married. In fact, Frank Ursula in our class. Frank's my cousin. His
okay. I didn't know
his
that.
sister was getting married that day. Yeah, actually, I took Drina Keena.
Yeah.
She's also my cousin.
Oh, okay.
Drina's mom, Frank's mom, and my mom are all sisters. So
Wow.
we were, so we were very
Small
close,
world.
the three of us growing up and everything.
Yeah,
But,
small world for sure.
yeah.
Wow.
But I mean, so that day Frank's sister was getting married. So she got married. We were invited to the wedding. Of course, we couldn't go. So, and I remember that night, one of Frank's brothers, Jimmy, he came up to the hospital with a camera, and he was walking through the hospital taking pictures. He's got video of my wife laying in bed with
Oh my goodness.
she was pissed at him. Yeah, he was in the elevator, and then he comes out of the elevator. He's going down, and the nurse is like, "What are you doing?" You know, he was walking all through the hospital, just videotaping the whole thing.
Oh, that's funny.
So that was quite a day. But yeah, just becoming a dad, obviously, that's the greatest achievement. I mean, I've had a lot of personal things myself, but that's the greatest one, obviously.
Right.
And then
awesome.
right now, I mean, like I say, playing golf and
Casino.
we've got a mini. We love mini schnauzers. We've had a lot of and spending time with my mini schnauzer. That's always fun. He's great.
Good for you.
That's special.
Just, like I say, I just trying to play golf, and I built this pole barn here early this year. I've got a golf simulator actually in back of me, so in the wintertime I'll be able to come out and play golf all winter too.
That's awesome.
That's what I like.
Awesome.
So it's really nice to hear that you are enjoying life. You well deserved that with all that you've gone through. I think that's the gift.
Yeah, I worked hard. I did work hard my whole life. After that, I mean, I guess if I want to give myself another achievement, almost it kind of was getting over what I went through. I mean, addiction's a terrible thing to have. And like I said, that was, I mean, I just quit cold turkey on my own too. I didn't get help from anybody.
Wow.
I just,
That's
like
amazing.
I said, it was kind of bad the way I did it. I just took off. My family didn't know where I was for about a week or so. And, but
That's
so
what you needed to do though.
Yeah, but I did it. Yeah, I did it and recovered from it and moved on. And like I said, led a pretty good life. So I guess in my mind, that was kind of an achievement to get over that.
That's impressive. That's impressive, Dave, that you were able to overcome that. So
it's a huge monumental challenge.
Yeah. And it's you're a good role model for that. So kudos to you.
So let's go back now 50 years, guys. Okay. Focus now. 50 years. Can you remember? Can you tell us what your favorite high school memory would be? Maybe a favorite class, a favorite teacher, or not. Lois, do you wanna take that one?
Yeah. I would say Mr. Thompson.
Okay, yep.
And I say that because he knew me without knowing me.
Mm-hmm.
And his saying to me was, "I do not trust the devil behind that smile."
Mm-hmm.
So he had my number.
Oh, wow. Mm.
And I always loved him for that. I was like, boy, he nailed that pretty good, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have him, but a lot of people did and really liked him a lot.
Yeah, I didn't have him either, but I heard he was good.
Yeah.
You know, what's funny is that I see, well, it's been a while now because I've been here for 4 years, but I would see Mr. Ruthier at different things at our church, and I would always call him Mr. Ruthier, and he'd say to me, "It's George."
George.
I can't do that.
I
You
know.
always
I know.
do Mr. Ruthier.
Mr. Ruth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah. I could never do that either. Out of respect. You just can't.
right. If for no other reason, it was a respect thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice to hear.
Mm.
Cool. Hey, Dave, what about you? Did you have a favorite teacher? Favorite memory or?
I didn't really have a favorite teacher. I liked all my teachers. I mean, as much as I hated school, I actually liked all my teachers. I mean, George Ruthier, math was the only subject I was good at. So George Ruthier was great, and Bob Fallon. The one teacher that stuck out to me, I think the most, that I enjoyed, I just thought he was a really good teacher. He was different from everybody else, and that was Saul Steiner.
Oh, yeah.
I liked him. I mean, he taught a different way. I just thought he was a good teacher. I hated English, but I enjoyed his class. You know, he was smart. He knew a lot of things. I mean,
Very much so.
and
Yeah.
and the other thing I liked about his class was he was actually easy to get off track and get him to talk about other things that he liked. Like I heard somebody told me they used to make his own bullets for his shooting
Wow.
range. And one day when he came into class, I kind of hit him on it. I said, "I heard you make." He spent the whole class telling us about it. You know, we didn't have that. He was easy to get going. Like, hey, he liked talking about. He taught us a lot of cooking stuff. He was really a good cook, I guess.
Yep.
And maybe that's why I liked him, because he kind of went off subject a lot of times and didn't actually talk about it.
Yeah. Well, you could relate to him.
Yeah, I guess. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I think I liked him just because he was different. You know, he was a different kind of a teacher, and I thought he was a good teacher. But as far as the people that I was closest to, as far as faculty, they weren't really teachers. We're all in the sports. You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Tucker Terranova was. Yeah, I mean, I remember him from like third grade.
Oh, me too.
He came out in the elementary when he first started, worked for the school system to teach phys ed to all the elementary schools and stuff. And at that time, I told you earlier, my mom and dad got divorced when I was 1, and my stepdad didn't come around until I was about 10. So when I met Tucker Terranova, I didn't have a father figure in my life, and I kind of, because I love sports too, I kind of attached very, very close to Tucker Terranova. And,
Yeah. He was. He's awesome.
He was a big influence, and then of course, Sil Serra, my soccer coach, was he was awesome. I mean, he was a great teacher of the game, and great. The best thing that Sil Serra was, he was a great conditioner.
Yeah.
He got his teams in very good condition. And speaking of that, the other one, sports figure that I like was Jim Federico, who didn't really coach at that time. He was done with his coaching, but I used to go down to his store and buy all my sports gear. And anytime I went in his store, I sat and had a nice conversation with him. And
That's nice.
Of course, he knew my stepdad. My stepdad was a great athlete at Stonington, a great golfer, a great basketball player. Went to UConn. So when Jim Federico coached Westerly, my stepdad was the best player at Stonington. So he knew him. So I kind of connected with Coach Federico. And
Nice,
we had
nice.
good conversations and stuff. So those three, Tucker, Sil Serra, and Jim Federico, were really big influences on me to get over to school.
Nice.
It's kind of fun to think back on.
Yeah.
On all that
Well,
stuff.
like I said, as much as I hated school, I did still have a lot of good memories. And, like I said, I mean, obviously most of them were sports related, but.
The whole reunion has brought up so much for so many people.
Yeah,
It's
really
been
has.
good. And some good and some bad, but yeah.
Yep. Well, just one more. What message would you like to give the class of 73? Lois? Any words of wisdom?
I can think of at the moment.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. How about you, Dave?
Nothing. You just live life, enjoy it and stay active too. I mean, I do by playing, but if you stay active in life, I think that's the key to longevity.
Sure.
I'm 60. I won't be 60. I know most everybody in our class is 68. I'm one of the young ones because I was born in November. But I play golf with a group of guys out there, and I'm one of the young guys. I mean, I'm 67, and I'm a young guy I play with guys. I play with one guy who's 89 years old.
Wow.
We got guys in our group that one guy I played with, he's 82. He had a heart attack earlier this year in January. 82 years old, he had a heart attack. He's back out playing golf right now. I
Oh,
mean, these guys have all been active their whole life playing golf, and
So that's important.
You
Yeah.
wouldn't believe. I mean, if you saw these guys, you wouldn't believe how shape they're in, and just because they've been active their whole life. And I think that's key. Just stay active
And I have to say, on Lois, on your behalf, attitude.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially with the challenges that you've been through. So, well, listen, we're going to probably wrap this up, Kim, I think.
Yes. Sorry for I think we're getting a lot of feedback. So
Can I say one more thing about when we talk
Sure.
about the memories and stuff? I did want to say a couple other things as far as my memories.
Yeah.
One thing was I talked about earlier, winning that scholarship. It's a funny story because I was really flabbergasted for winning that. They basically gave out 2 scholarships back then: the Kevin Wall Memorial Scholarship, which was for Cam Wall's older brother, who I think got killed in a car accident, and then the Carl Millamacki, the Carl Millamacki Scholarship, which Carl Millamacki was an athlete at Wesley many years before us, or a few years before us, and I think he got killed in Vietnam. And basically, they were given to the 2 best athletes as far as over the years. And of course, Bobby Mitchell, of course, won the Kevin Wall. Bobby was the best athlete in our class, without a doubt. And I didn't think for any chance of me getting picked for that. I remember and I think it was all Tucker Terranover. He was one that announced it. I remember we had the awards ceremony. He announced it and gave me the award. I think it was because of him that I got it. But I remember when he announced it, and he says, for athletic and academic achievement. And when I got up, I could hear other people go, academic achievement? It's like, even other people I think were surprised that I won that. But that was that was like a kind of a good memory, but it was just
huge
it was
moment.
just funny.
Yeah.
I was just so surprised by it. I didn't think
that's a great
I
memory.
just didn't think I was going to. And then the other thing I was going to bring up was obviously our soccer. My junior. Well, I didn't actually join the soccer team till halfway through the sophomore season. I didn't even know anything about soccer, and I think I was bored with school. I remember I flunked 3 subjects the first semester of school in 10th grade. I was just bored with school. So I went out for soccer, and at the time Peter Martin was the goalie, and he'd gotten an illness. So they put me in goal. Jack Carson was the coach, and I started being goalie, and Peter ended up being one of the best forwards in the state. I mean, our senior year, he scored. So that was kind of ironic that if I hadn't gone out, I don't know what would have happened then. But
so Dave, wait, how could you play if you had flunked something?
The grades didn't come out till after the season was over. I mean,
Ah.
I hated school.
Okay.
And then because if the grades had come out, I probably would have got kicked off the team, I would think. But by then the season was over when the grades came out. So,
That was good though. That you did.
But then the other thing I wanted to mention was 4 girls who followed us. And one of them was on the other night, Terry Ann Lawson. There were 4 girls, Terry Ann Lawson, Robin Gallagher, Patty Main, and Kathy Main. Those 4 girls were the most dedicated soccer fans that we had. They went to all of our away games. They followed us everywhere. They were just, I just wanted to thank them now for being the fans that they were. I know back then I probably didn't say anything to them. I was shy with girls and all that, so I probably didn't say anything. But they followed us all the time, and it was just great. I mean, that they supported us because the soccer team nobody cared about the soccer team until we were getting ready to win go to the finals. Then all of a sudden it was like, we were getting a lot of headlines, and we got popular in the senior year and stuff. But those 4 girls really followed us, and I just
that's a sweet
give them
story.
kind of kudos for being there for us and supporting us. And
that's special.
That was fun. The soccer team. I mean, sophomore year we were terrible. I think we only won 2 or 3 games that year. And then the second year, junior year, when Sil Sarah took over, we actually made the playoffs that year. And
Yeah.
I was remembering something, and I actually had to look at my scrapbook. I've got a scrapbook of all the clippings and everything, but we had to play Charahoe that year. And I think that's my best memory of the soccer. It wasn't in the senior, even though the senior we had a great season.
Yeah.
And we had to play soccer. Of course, Charahoe was our arch rival. And I knew a lot of the people from Charahoe. My brother went to school there. And a girl whose mom knew my mom real well was the manager of the soccer team. So I knew a lot. I always wanted to beat Charahoe as big as possible. And we tied them for the 4th place playoff spot for the final playoff. We had to play a special game against them. I remember we played them at Craig Field first, and we tied them 0-0. There was no winner. So we had to have a second game, and we had to play them at Charahoe. And anybody that went to that game will remember, it was freezing. I mean, it was like 25 degrees, I think. It was in November. Wow. It was freezing. Everybody, I mean, you could see people's breath. And we beat Charahoe 1-0 to make the playoffs. That was the first year Wesley ever made the playoffs in soccer. But we beat Charahoe that game. Chip O'Leary scored the goal that won it for us. I think that was even though we had that great season the next year, beating Charahoe that year to get into the playoffs for the first time. We ended up getting beat the next day in the playoffs like 5-0, but we didn't care. I remember we were coming home from, I think Barrington beat us. We were up there playing it. We were more happy coming home, I think, then, even though we lost, just because of the season that we had had.
Of course.
I mean, it was just such a great year. Yeah. And, so Sarah was the first year being coach with us. But, yeah, those memories with soccer were really fun.
Really definitely.
So special. Such great memories.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to let you know that a couple more people have written in to say, hi, Dave. Nice to hear from you. Mm-hmm. Lois, great to see you as well. Dave, we got better as soon as you became our goalie. Whoever wrote that, but thanks for sharing all of that. It's so fun to hear, stories from the past and great memories. And you guys have been such great guests, and I'm so happy that you got on, Lois, and so happy, Dave, that we got to see you. Can
I say one last thing? Just I know people are doing things back there. If I know we didn't have many golfers in our class, but if any of the guys out there, anybody wants to play golf on the next day, Sunday, somebody let me know and I'll bring my clubs and we can maybe get a group together if they want to go play golf.
Nice.
I won't bring my clubs.
That's great.
But I mean, my wife's on Facebook. Just let somebody know there, and if anybody out there listening, they want to get together, you don't have to be good.
Yeah.
I don't care.
That's
if
awesome.
they want to. It'd be something
Dave,
fun to do the
have
next
you
day
down.
after the reunion on Sunday. I know people are doing different things, but.
Sure.
Throw that out
Is
there.
your wife coming for the reunion as well?
Yep,
okay.
I'll have 2 dates that night. My wife and my cousin Drina.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
All
right.
I am like, I could cry that I can't be there.
What's that? I didn't hear you, Lois.
I said I could cry that
I didn't hear what she said either.
Oh, the golf?
Oh, yeah.
No, the reunion.
Just at the reunion.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I can't be there. See, I mean, I just looked today at the posting of the ladies' night at the yacht club.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And is it just me? Because I haven't been up there in a while. But I was having a hard time recognizing people.
You're not the only one.
Yeah, really.
Okay. Because,
We should put the names on, Kim.
Yes, that is
Wait.
a great idea.
About my yearbook.
There
Okay.
you go. Yeah.
Got my yearbook, and I'm like, I look at my picture and I said, aside from the fact that you got a lot of wrinkles and you earned every one of them, I think I still look the same.
Yes.
A lot of
But-
people do, or you don't recognize them, but then once you say it or whatever, you're like, oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. That could be a good trivia on the Facebook. Who is who? Just
Sometimes it's hard. The one thing I will say is that, I would be dying to see Jamie because the last time I saw her was in McQuaid's one day.
Oh my goodness.
And I was actually embarrassed to see anyone.
Oh.
Because I
Aw.
had
Who was she
I
talking
had
about? Jamie who?
Jamie Terranover.
Okay,
Jimmy
I
Fallon.
saw Jamie. I did see last year. She was at Drina's mom's, my aunt's funeral, so I saw her last year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she looked good. I hadn't seen her in years.
She still
So
looks the
It will
same.
be good to see everybody.
you shouldn't feel bad about, being seen. I think,
Oh yeah, you know what? I had gained so much weight. It was unbelievable. And not until I took it off. I started in 2007 and I took off 179 pounds.
Oh my goodness.
wow. Wow.
Talk about accomplishments, Lois. Yeah.
But that,
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a great accomplishment.
Yeah.
well, because I was always fat going through school from as a little kid, and it just got worse and worse.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I was like, I don't want to die like this. Or as I said to my husband, I may be fat, but I can do something about that. You're stupid, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Oh,
Oh, well.
gosh.
How did he take that?
We're divorced.
Oops. That's another story for another day.
Exactly.
And then he died.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I guess. No, I'm sorry to hear that. So,
Well, it's about
Anyway.
7:30, so we're gonna probably have to
Uh-oh.
wrap it up for now.
Oh my
Yes.
God, we're really late.
thank you so much for being coming on the broadcast, and such a pleasure to see both of you. And Diane, always a pleasure, to be on with you.
Oh,
So,
happy to do this.
Thanks,
Love to
Cindy. Appreciate it. Dave, it was great to see you.
Yep. You too, Lois.
all right, everyone,
good.
take
Take care,
care.
and we'll see you at the reunion.
Okay,
Not
sounds
far
good.
away, right?
Yep, take care.
Lois, you take care. Keep us posted.
Yes.
I
And if
will.
If you get up here, contact us.
Oh, I certainly will, because I will be up there at some point in time. I just don't
Yeah.
know when.
Okay.
Yes, sounds
Yeah.
good. Stay
Sounds like a
safe
plan.
now. Okay, behave.
All
Hey,
right,
thanks a lot,
guys.
you
Good
girls
to
doing
see
this.
you.
This
Take
is
care.
great that you're doing
Bye,
this.
bye.
Good to see everybody.
Thank you. Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank
Night
you.
now.
Everybody take
Night.
care.